taking you inside a lot of headlines right now involving UFOs. I've been a journalist for 30 years, and some of these headlines I could not ignore. The U.S. government revealed that in a recent 8-month period, there have been more than 270 reports of UFOs around the country. We are not saying that aliens are walking out of these UFOs, but these are sightings that are being reported around where we all live. My next guest, Steve Allen, was a leading witness to one of the largest mass UFO sightings in American history. And it is the focus of the premiere episode of Netflix's new docu-series. It's called Encounters. It's produced by Steven Spielberg's Amblin TV. In 2008, here's what happened. Texas businessman was enjoying some downtime, he says, with friends near his home, about 90 miles west of Dallas in the town of Stephenville, when he looked to the night sky and saw something that has haunted him for more than a decade. Take a look.
So we came out here to the top of the hill to have a campfire. It was myself, Mike Odom, and Lance Jones. Then all of a sudden, I see some real bright, high-intensity lights off to the east, headed our way at a high velocity of speed. The lights was so bright, it was unlike anything I'd ever seen. It was almost blinding to look at them. And what amazed me is there was no wind noise, no engine noise. It was silence. When it came past us, I developed the most peaceful, easy feeling I think I've ever had in my life. It was almost like a religious experience, like I was at one with whatever it was.
The man in that video is in our studio. Please welcome to the Tam Fam, Steve Allen. Thank you so much for joining us. You, Steve, talked about this moment. What followed the moment you described? You saw two F-16 fighters in hot pursuit. You said it felt like War of the Worlds. So these F-16s suddenly appear in the air.
Yes, as it came by us the first time, it stopped over Stephenville. It did a display of lights. Then it came back by. The mailman had already left. It scared him so bad he left. So my buddy's wife called him and says, "Hey, what'd y'all see?" And he says, "Hurry up, run back outside. It's coming back by." So we ran back outside, and sure enough, it came back by with two F-16s. But it was closer this time. The first time it was like 2,500 feet away. This time it was like 2,000 or 1,500 feet. I fly that area all the time, so.
You describe it as being bigger than a Walmart. That's pretty big. I'm from Texas, so that's pretty big. But your then wife said, whatever you do, don't tell anybody about it. They'll think we're crazy.
I was pale white when I came home. I didn't even say anything. She looked at me and says, "What happened?" I told her the story. She says, "Whatever you do, don't say anything tomorrow to anybody." Of course, me being a man, next thing I know, I'm on the phone to the airport, the newspaper, and everybody else trying to get some answers what
it was, right? Because you don't know what it is. You weren't saying, okay, again, this is an alien spacecraft. You're saying something is in the airspace. We don't know what it is. You were the first person to speak out. You opened the door for dozens of other witnesses to come forward. And over just a few months, they had 300 locals near Stephenville reporting a large Delta-shaped UFO. Turned into an international story. Media from all over the world came to the town. Here's where the story gets interesting to me. The Air Force Reserve initially denied that it had fighter jets around Stephenville that night in 2008. 2 weeks later, the reserve reversed course, admitting that there were nearly a dozen F-16s in the area. So now follow us. They go from denying it to admitting it, that there were F-16s. Yes. And through the Freedom of Information Act, you found evidence of a UFO near where you were spotted, right?
Robert Powell with MUFON and Glenn Schultz dissected all the information. I think they did a Lockerbie, Scotland crash as well, so they're real experienced. 2.5 million pieces of data, 83-page report, shows it inbound at 2,100 miles an hour and shows it back outbound at 1,900 miles an hour.
So there's radar data that shows it was something, yes. And it wasn't one of these F-16s. What was the object, Steve? What do you think it was?
It had no transponder on. It wasn't from this world. I could say that just from its sheer speed and maneuverability.
How do you know, though, it wasn't? It doesn't have to be U.S. but it doesn't have to be out of this world. Why do you think? Remember the balloon that was flying around? It turned out to be from China. Could it be that?
Laws of physics, when you're running 2,000 miles an hour and come to a stop over Stephenville in less than a second or two, it can't be. It's not possible for our technology.
What do you hope comes out of this?
We hope that they'll tell us what's going on. We're adults.
Who is us? Who do you think holds these answers?
I would say the government, and we, the people, we need to know what it is for our own. We can take it, whatever it is, good, bad, evil, whatever. Just tell us what's going on.
This is fascinating. Well, listen, you can see more of Steve's story and many others. Encounters is streaming on Netflix right now. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. I do. I appreciate it.